Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Just Saying Football with Jack and Sean. I'm your host, Sean Gann, alongside my partner, Jack McNicholas. We're here to bring you news, notes, weekly updates, and game analysis of your favorite teams from around the league. If you don't have the chance, go check out our website at justsayingfootball.com and follow us on Instagram at JustSayingNoGWJS for article and video updates. Jack, we are back from a disappointing game in Buffalo. That was upsetting. That was sad to see in Week 11. They did not have the close game we were expecting, but it's okay. It's all right. Because you know why? Thanksgiving's this week.
Yeah.
All right. It's tomorrow, in fact. And it is going to be delicious. Because you know why? Not only do you get to have delicious food, there's football. And it's early. 12:30 p.m. Are you ready?
I am ready. Get your fantasy lineups ready. You better set them early on Thursday because we got a lot of games. We got 3 matchups that, are going to be pretty solid as a side dish to your big meals on Thursday.
Absolutely. So let's kick it off right now with the NFC North. Chicago Bears heading to Detroit, taking on the Lions. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, man, some banged up quarterbacks in this one. We saw Jared Goff last week injured, and, we had to see Tim Boyle go in there. We also saw Justin Fields for the Bears get injured. We saw Andy Dalton step in last week. Not what we want to see coming into a holiday game, a couple of injured quarterback teams. But this is that part of the season, and the Bears, this could be a great time for them to get it right against a division opponent. We saw them keep it close with Baltimore last week. And, Detroit, they haven't won yet this season. And, after 5 straight losses, the Bears have to be ready to, get a win.
Yeah, the Bears beat them earlier on in the season. So, of course, the Bears are like, this is a game to do it up against. I think if you're the Lions, this offense is going to work and run through DeAndre Swift. So you got to shut him down. Last time these two teams met, the Bears did shut him down, held him only to 16 yards on 8 carries, not a lot of anything through the air, about 3 receptions for 23 yards. That's exactly what you want to do. It definitely goes through him. They've been running the ball really well with him, has had back-to-back over 100-yard rushing games. He's been looking really good. So if you shut him down, this offense will fall apart, especially with no Jared Goff. This team takes a big step back. No Justin Fields in this one, so it's going back to Andy Dalton, but he looked good last week against a good Ravens team. So I'll lock in the Bears on this one. I think they get a win on Thanksgiving Day, and as per most Thanksgiving traditions, the Lions lose.
Yeah, definitely a tradition everybody has been kind of getting used to with the Lions. I feel like the last 3 years we've seen them deal with these injuries at this exact time. But, this could have been a good game, and, it could be Matt Nagy's last game for Chicago. It's looking like it's looming there for, a coaching change. And, this could be his last one, especially if they lose, to a division opponent that, is coming in as the underdog. But I do like the Bears better in this one. I think their defense steps up when they need to. We've seen them do that in the past. And, they got some real great playmakers on that defense, a good running game. I think that on a short week, they're going to try to give Darnell Mooney the ball as much as possible.
Absolutely.
And just try to be successful in this one. I'm looking for a little bit better performance out of him. He had 16 targets last week, 5 catches, but he still turned into 121 yards in the touchdown. So looking for a big game from him and the Bears themselves.
Yeah, 100%. Allen Robinson has been silent this year. It's been upsetting and surprising to see. It doesn't look like he's also going to be in this game, so it's like a huge Darnell Mooney game.
Yeah.
Moving on, at 4:30, we got the Las Vegas Raiders heading to Dallas, take on the Cowboys. Now, the Cowboys had getting a little bit of the injury bug and COVID bug. Amari Cooper was hit with COVID on Sunday, missed the game on Sunday. Is going to miss this one per the 10-day protocol that there is involved in the NFL. CeeDee Lamb got a concussion during the game. Team is optimistic he'll be in for this Thursday night's game or Thursday afternoon game. And then there's a banged up Elliott in the game that we just saw. So a lot of question marks around these guys and a lot of their star power. So what are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, you got to hope that CeeDee Lamb is healthy enough to play. He is such an X factor for this team every time he steps on the field. And, the real thing is we know Cooper probably won't be in this one, but they will have to step up. This Raiders team is really looking to become, a team that doesn't falter here. They're 5-5 after a hot start. They have lost 3 straight, and it's not really what we wanted to see. We thought they'd step up last week against the Bengals. They lost 32-13. And, we're looking at this Cowboys team that, gets it done. We've seen Tony Pollard and Zeke get it done here. I think, Dallas at home, you do pretty well on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, Micah Parsons looked great last week up against Mahomes, and this defense was there to play the offense again. When you don't have all of your playmakers out there, literally all of your
Yeah.
playmakers out there, it's hard to score. But the defense kept him in. And Micah Parsons had an amazing strip sack on
Yeah.
Mahomes. They slowed down that offense. They had 16 points in the first half. They held them to 16 points in the second half. That's what you want to see from your defense. That's what you get. You get a guy like Dan Quinn in
Yeah.
there. I think CeeDee Lamb's gonna be healthy. Cowboys need a big bounce back win. And all of a sudden, there are question marks surrounding them. The Eagles are now up and coming with multiple wins under their belts. All of a sudden, they know they got to protect the NFC East. I'm going with the Cowboys on Thanksgiving Day. I think that Lamb's going to be in. Elliott will be prepped, and Dak Prescott, man, he can ball out for sure.
Yeah, Dak. I mean, I feel like we haven't brought him up enough this season, just the way that he's been able to impact the game and the way he's bounced back from that injury that he sustained last year. I mean, really, really impressive. He's got 20 touchdowns already on the season, only 7 picks. He's playing a clean game. Dallas at home, it's a tough one. I mean, I think it's going to be close the way the Raiders have been playing, but I'm going with Dallas in this one. Even without the weapons, I think that their defense has been able to step up in so many games. Just thinking back a couple weeks ago to New England, where they were able to keep it close. They're the 8th best scoring defense, 10th best against the run. And, I think that they have the linebackers and Mike Parsons to, and Leighton Vander Esch, those guys to kind of stop, Darren Waller, which is, the key to stopping this Raiders offense. So I'm going to go with Dallas in this one.
All right, I like it, and it's not very often Jack picks him as a big Giants fan. A little bit of Thursday night action to cap off Thanksgiving Day. Buffalo Bills, the team we just saw going to the Saints in New Orleans, taking them on. What are your thoughts on this one? Both these teams coming off of surprise losses. Taysom Hill, massive contract, 4-year, $40 million, could go up to $95 million, being starting quarterback. Trevor Siemian on the way out. Is that what this means? This is a weird time.
Yeah, it definitely means that, Taysom Hill is healthy enough where he could take on this offense, but it's kind of weird, where his journey has taken him now to, somebody who was backing up Drew Brees. He was kind of a Swiss Army knife. And now this team has actually put the kind of trust in him. Tough game, though, short week for both these teams, playing in prime time. Bills are on the road after we just witnessed them get torn up by Jonathan Taylor. It's tough because if Kamara was going to be in this game and Ingram was not questionable, this could be kind of a very more debatable game for me, but I think this is going to be a really heavy defensive game, to be honest.
Yeah, no Kamara, no Ingram. Those are two huge pieces for the Saints, especially now with no Michael Thomas out for the year with the injury. They're down on their star power. We've seen Kamara just taking on a massive workload coming into the season and playing great.
Mm-hmm.
Once they brought in Ingram, you knew, okay, that's the guy who knows the system. He works really well with the team. Everyone loves him. The entire community of New Orleans loves him. But now with both of them out, it's looking to like Ty Montgomery all of a sudden. Normally the hybrid guy on your team as well. Maybe a little bit more Taysom Hill in the running back position. And I think if you're looking at this Bills team, you just want to get right game for them because that offense looked out of sync last week. That defense looked out of sync. There was no answer to Jonathan Taylor. And for those of you, if you were able to see the wide shots of the game, it didn't look like anything was going on there, but it was ice cold. It was super rainy. It was super wet. It looked like if you saw it only in the wide shots of the camera, it did not do justice what the weather was like. So I will just say that about the team, and maybe about some of the performances. Maybe the ball got a little slick in some of the wet and wet in Josh Allen's hand, but you just want to bounce back game because he was playing at MVP level. And last week was just bad. The fumbles, the interceptions, and Diggs found the end zone. That was cool, but only 23 yards.
Yeah, I mean, not what you expect from them. Seriously, we thought that they would be the ones to step up last week and just be able to get it done at home. I think that they're able to get it done on the road though this week, just because of the way that where their defense is right now. Buffalo, they're the second best passing defense. I think that's going to affect New Orleans greatly. And, they're still a top 10 rushing defense, which can shut down, kind of the X factor part of New Orleans. And for me, I think, like we mentioned, the weather was a huge factor. This is the time of year where it becomes a factor in football, especially in the outdoor games. Indoor game year, prime time, I think that, Sean McDermott and Josh Allen come into this one and get it right.
Yeah, I agree with you. Stephon Diggs, Minneapolis Miracle, just a few years ago. Who that was against?
New Orleans
Saints. He knows how to beat this team. All right. So I'll lock in the Bills as well. It feels like the first time we don't really have a for sure team that's the clear cut winner right now in the NFL. It's really interesting, like
Yeah.
who's going to be the Super Bowl favorite. And for a while we've been saying Bills, and now with this loss last week and the loss to the Jaguars, are like, now that's in question. Tampa Bay has lost a few games. Rams have lost a few games. Cardinals have lost one, dude. We're at a weird time, interesting time right now in the NFL.
Big playoff push coming up. I'll tell you, these last couple of weeks, the extended season, the more opportunities for people to make the playoffs. I think it's going to be an excellent, rest of the season. Teams, it's about who's going to get the hottest at the right time. We've seen teams, like the Titans the last couple of years just get hot in December. It's going to be interesting to see who makes it in there at the end.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. That is all the time that we have. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you everyone for listening.
Yeah, thank you guys for checking us out. JustSayingFootball.com, Just Saying Football on YouTube, and Just Saying No GWJS for all your article and video updates. Thank you guys for checking us out.
Enjoy.
Happy Thanksgiving too.
Happy Thanksgiving. Oh my God, I almost forgot.